Tonight, we have part two of a WDSU Investigates story on the crew of Nick's Carnival organization.
Former members have criticized Captain Julie Lee for not being transparent about how money has been earned and spent. So last night, we scoured the group's tax records.
And tonight, Chief Investigative Reporter Greg LaRose takes a closer look at Nick's travel and spending and businesses closely linked with the crew and its leadership.
Nyx is the Greek goddess of night. The legends describe her as mysterious. WDSU Investigates has been looking into the financial side of the crew of Nyx, which has some mystery of its own. We didn't find any evidence of wrongdoing when we looked through the publicly available tax records of the crew and its subsidiaries. But these documents also don't offer much detail on how they spend or make money. As a nonprofit that seeks tax exemptions, the crew has to submit an informational return to the IRS. It's called a Form 990, and it also has to disclose whether the nonprofit has ties to any business that benefits from its existence.
You're supposed to disclose transactions or any business transacted with related parties, or what we call insiders.
CPA Kathleen Zuniga reviewed Nyx's 990 filings. She also examined available public records for three related entities: NOLA Nyxettes, Nyx Sisters Incorporated, and Nyx Goddesses. We also reached out to Nyx Captain Julie Lee through her attorney to get their take on the crew's business operations. They didn't respond. State records show all three Nyx-affiliated entities were founded as nonprofits, but there are no publicly available tax records for any of the offshoots.
It was so much fun. I mean, Riot Day, there's nothing like it.
Rebecca Fox was an inaugural member of the crew of Nyx and its dance troupe, the Nyxettes. Other organizations paid the Nyxettes to perform in their parades and events. Emails provided to WDSU show that the Nyxettes had to buy their uniforms and some accessories from yet another entity linked to Julie Lee, Crescent City Innovations, or CCI. State records identify the sole member and manager for that for-profit business as Chris Lee, the husband of Nyx's captain. We weren't able to make contact with Chris Lee for this story. An email to Nyxettes members shows that in the group's first year of existence, dues were paid directly to CCI.
But we kept being told, oh, Nyxettes is new. We don't have a Nyxette account yet. We're going to use this one for now, whatever. So we just kind of went with it.
There's nothing illegal with nonprofits doing business with a relative's for-profit company. If Nyxettes is a nonprofit, which state records say it is, it has to disclose and detail these transactions on its tax forms. We weren't able to find a 990 for the Nyxettes. B. George was in the Nyxettes after Fox left the group. She's also a CPA and says the family link between Nyx and CCI raised red flags for her.
There has to be proper accountability for it.
Nonprofits have to file 990s with the IRS unless they don't seek a tax exemption. So that means if NOLA Nyxettes didn't seek a tax exemption or isn't a nonprofit, it had to pay taxes on the income they made from member dues and performances. We have no way of knowing if they did because the IRS and State Revenue Department don't share information about private businesses. This also applies to Nyx Sisters Incorporated. Julie Lee established this nonprofit in 2012 for women who wanted to be placed on a waiting list to become a Nyx member. It was $75 to join.
There was money grabs all the time.
Just like the NOLA Nyxettes, Nyx Sisters Inc. was organized as a nonprofit and had a revenue stream. But there are no publicly available tax records for the organization, which state records show was dissolved in 2016. But Nyx Sisters may not have sought a tax exemption from the IRS. Again, we can't verify whether the group paid taxes, and Julie Lee won't answer our questions. CPA Kathleen Zuniga says nonprofits are allowed to own for-profit subsidiaries, and they can detail that financial relationship on their 990, but they don't have to. For those that choose not to,
it adds another layer of a lack of transparency.
We also couldn't find a Form 990 for Nyx Goddesses, which state business records show is also a nonprofit. According to the crew's tax form, Nyx Goddesses sells merchandise to Nyx members, and it's identified as a C corporation. C corporations are regular private companies. In most cases, their goal is to make a profit for owners.
Because you don't have privy as to the public doesn't to the C corp because it's a private entity.
If Nyx Goddesses operates as a taxable C Corp and not a tax-exempt nonprofit, then the crew doesn't have to disclose how its subsidiary handles money. That means any expenses incurred by Knicks Goddesses or anyone running the business stay private.
These expenses aren't subject to review by the public or view by the public.
The crew of Knicks has to make its travel expenses public on its 990. From 2016 to 2018, the club averaged more than $33,000 in travel spending. We looked at other crews and found nearly all of them had zero travel expenses. Bacchus was the only other group that reported travel spending, and at $6,000 in 2018, it was just a fraction of Knicks's travel budget. Despite the mystery surrounding Knicks's finances and disagreements with crew leadership, V. George says her membership in Knicks still had an upside.
Although it was unorganized, we were very close, and we functioned in a very dysfunctional atmosphere, and we birthed some great friendships and sisterhoods, and I don't want anybody to lose sight of that.
For WDSU Investigates, I'm Greg LaRose.
More than a dozen former Knicks members are suing the crew in small claims court, seeking a refund on their membership dues that they already paid for next year. Some have formed two new organizations that plan to parade with existing crews in 2021.